Today's video is super special because we're going to cover yet another European country, except that this is not as cold as the others. It is in Southern Europe, and the visa that we're going to cover today is processed quickly, so it actually comes within 4 working weeks, 20 working days. I'm thinking of making this a series, so let me know what you think about that. But for now, let's talk Europe. How can you move to Europe within a month? Hello and namaste, my name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are a regular viewer, thanks for spending time with me yet again. I am a finance professional, a digital creator, and also the CEO and founder of Globalogy. At Globalogy, our mission is simple: careers beyond borders. You should be able to move from anywhere to anywhere. And to help you make your move abroad successful, we provide a bunch of custom solutions like job support service, direct job placements, PR visa filing, and also a bunch of masterclasses. A lot of the info about Globalogy and the work that we do is in the description box, so do check it out. And for now, let's talk about the country of choice today, which is Portugal. But before that, I do want to mention this, that I feel like many European countries, and actually many countries just globally, whether it's Australia or Canada, UAE, a couple of Middle Eastern countries, all of these are lowering some of their visa processing times. Not the regular work permits, but the special work permits, which I tend to cover in my videos, which are generally not utilized as much. Like, I'm probably going to make a series of how to move to Europe within a month, because many countries now are allowing 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks processing. So let me know what you think about that. Now, obviously today's country is Portugal. I'm going to divide this video into 2 segments. First, we'll talk about the labor shortage, what's going on, where are the shortages, all of that. And second, we're going to talk about the visas that I recommend that you use. I have a very, very special visa in here today, which I'm pretty sure you've not heard of. It's very new and it is very underutilized. And of course, these visas can be applied for by English speakers. So I'm pretty sure that you're going to find this super interesting. So first up, let's talk about what's going on in Portugal. Now, Portugal just this year needs about 80,000 foreign workers. Why? Because the labor shortage is intense. Reports say that Portugal is currently facing skilled labor shortage in almost 31 occupations, and more than 58,000 jobs were lying vacant for over 100 days in just this year. Now, that lying vacant part has to be understood well. So 58,000 jobs were lying vacant, unapplied to, for over 100 days. Eurostats had published this report, and this has mounted more pressure on the Portuguese government to make sure that they are taking in foreign workers. Now, Portugal is a relatively smaller economy. It is in Southern Europe. English is pretty much okay in the bigger cities, but when you go in the suburbs and countryside, maybe not so much. Bigger cities like Lisbon and Porto, you're pretty fine. Portugal also has a lot of history with my home country, India, because they had a colony in Goa. So Goa was a Portuguese colony. And if you are a Goan resident with any Portuguese ancestry, then things are much simpler for you. You could potentially even apply for a Portuguese passport and move. But if that's not the case, then what can you do? Well, that gets me to segment number 2, where I will be talking about the special visas. The first visa that I want to cover and get it out of the way is the Portuguese job seeker visa, which is in pretty good demand. We at Globalogy are also able to apply for it. Now, a job seeker visa is exactly like it sounds. It is a job seeking visa, so it gives you the permission to enter a country and look for a job there, and you can also continue to live in that country until you find an opportunity. Once you find an opportunity, you can immediately move on to a work visa. And why is a job seeker advantageous? Well, first of all, because you can join any opportunity literally immediately, and second, because there is no chance of visa rejection. People always forget that getting a work visa involves 2 parties, employer and the government. Even if the employer is okay with you taking up a job, the government might still reject for whatever unknown reasons best known to them. They might still reject. Now, if you are already approved for a job seeker visa, then the employer does not have to wait and does not have to go through any period of uncertainty. They know that your visa is approved because the government has cleared you to work. The only thing they need to do is simple paper form that they can do within the country, and it can happen literally within 3 to 5 working days. Your visa will be shifted from a job seeking to a working visa. So that's why anytime I hear of a country offering a job seeker visa, I always highly recommend it, especially if you are serious about moving abroad and you want to do it immediately or on your own timelines. I think this is one of the best ways to go about it. The Portugal job seeker, believe me or not, is the easiest in the whole wide world. There are many countries that give job seeker visas, but nobody gives it as easily as Portugal. You just need a bachelor's degree. No experience is needed, no knowledge of Portuguese is needed. Literally having a bachelor's degree and financial means to support yourself when you're living there and you don't have a job for the first couple of months. That's what you need to show in order to get a job seeker visa. The only caveat to this is that the wait time for job seeker visas can be higher depending on the country you're applying in. So for example, if you're applying in India, if you are a resident of Maharashtra and Goa, you're going to get it relatively soon. But if you are a resident of any other state in India, then it will be delayed because all of those applications go to the New Delhi consulate and it can take really long until you get an appointment. So if you are in any other parts of India, then the wait times can be about 8 to 9 months. But if you are in Maharashtra or Goa, it will be relatively sooner. So if you're trying to assess if this is a viable option for you to move to Portugal, highly recommend that you first check the wait times to get an interview in an embassy, a Portuguese embassy near you. It could be in your country, it could be in a neighboring country. So first, I would say do that assessment before jumping the bandwagon and getting on the job seeker route. Also, if you are from Maharashtra or Goa, we can help you get it relatively quickly. I'm going to prop up 2 screenshots. Our clients recently got these, and funnily enough, both of those were initial rejections, but we also helped convert it into positives and get our clients their job seeker visa. I will put in a JSV form in the description box for you to fill out just in case if you're interested in applying for a Portugal job seeker. Now, what if you are a resident in a country where the wait times are super long or absolutely non-existent? Then what do you do? Well, then I recommend that you apply for this relatively new visa called a tech visa. It might sound like it's only for IT people because it's like tech, but the tech does not stand for IT, it actually is technology visas. So technology visas are generally given to employees of startups. This is across Europe. I've seen most of the countries, they like to name their visas like a tech visa. So even the French startup visa goes by La French Tech. This is just a naming convention that I have observed across Europe. So this one's the tech visa by Portugal. I'm going to take you through the visa, the requirements, and also I'm going to show you a list of companies that can sponsor you under this visa so that you can go ahead and apply to those roles. Before I move on to a screen record and showing you guys what this visa is all about, let me quickly explain why I always prefer applying to a startup. So first of all, most countries have a different special visa if you work for a startup. The requirements are generally lower and the income requirements are higher. This is because startups are very growth focused. They have to, grow at an exponential rate, much more than regular industry. And for that, you need the best talent. It doesn't matter where they come from. So if you are to work for a startup, much easier for you to get a work visa. Second, now this is something purely observational because you guys know that we do direct job placements. We have many clients that we apply visas for, work visas for. We've come to realize that if you are in a shortage occupation, this is across the board, if you are in a shortage occupation in any country, your work visa will come much faster. So to give you context, we had some clients who applied for a production role in Czech Republic and some other clients who applied for a construction role in Czech Republic. The construction work visas, even though they were applied after the production work visas, they came much quickly. I'm using Czech Republic as an example. This is an observation that we've had across the board. So if you're already in a shortage occupation like tech, engineering, healthcare, finance, great. If you're not in a shortage occupation, then you should target startups because startups are always given more priority, even above shortage occupations in some countries. That's why I'm a big fan of startups. And today we're going to talk about the startup visa that Portugal has. Also, I'm going to share all the links on the screen, so make sure you take screenshots. Okay, now let's go to our screen record. So you can see this is the startup tech visa. That's the full name, but it's actually called tech visa. The tech visa aims to ensure that highly qualified professionals from outside the European Union can access jobs created by Portuguese company in a simplified manner. So the whole goal is to only cater to non-European Union candidates who can then come in and work for Portuguese companies. And this is from IAPMEI, which is of course the government of Portugal, all of us know. Now if you want to know it in some easy, simple English, then we'll go on to the Startup Portugal website. This is also funded by the government of Portugal to make sure that startups in Portugal are growing and there is constant movement of startups within Portugal, so like outside startups, foreign startups coming in. I am here, it's called the Tech Visa. You can see it is a certification program and it addresses to companies that wish to attract highly qualified and specialized staff to Portugal and nationals from countries not included in the Schengen area. So if you're from the Schengen area, you're actually not eligible for this visa, which I like. It is a visa that's only meant for non-Europeans to access, and it is made available by IAPMEI, which we already discussed, and it aims to get highly qualified workers in a very simplified way. The processing time of this visa is just 20 working days, although we hear that currently it's like 22 or 23 working days, but that's still within a month. You could get this visa if you were to get an opportunity. Now let's talk about what's the eligibility for this visa. visa. So only highly qualified workers can come in. Somebody who's outside of the European Union, has all tax obligations fulfilled, no criminal record, 18 years old, must have a bachelor's or equivalent, must be proficient in either Portuguese, English, French, or Spanish. One of these 4 languages, must be proficient. Again, it does not need any tests to be done. You don't need any certification. As long as you are able to have a conversation in any of these languages, you are eligible for this. Now, if you are looking to apply for this visa, you can see, do you want to work in Portugal? Then there is a list of certified companies. I've already downloaded. If you just click here, you will get a list of companies that can actually sponsor you under this visa, and you could apply and move. So once you click on the list, this is what you see. I think these are like 15 pages of about 30-35 companies on each page. So there are almost 400 plus companies here that could potentially sponsor you a visa. These are all only startups. Highly recommend that if you're looking for an opportunity in Portugal, maybe start off from here and just apply to these companies. The best way to do it is obviously to go on to their website and their career portals and then look for relevant opportunities. And you could potentially apply for this visa without any sponsorship. So you just need a job offer. If you already have a Portugal job seeker, you're already cleared, because startups are always looking for talent. Talent shortage, I will someday talk about that in some other video. It is something that is eating up a lot of our industries, and finding skilled workers is getting more and more difficult by the day. So as long as you're the right fit and the right talent for a particular role, I'm pretty sure these companies will entertain you and give you the opportunity of living and working in Portugal. One thing that I did forget to mention is that if you want to qualify for this visa, the tech visa, you must have 5 years of experience. So if you have more than 5 years of experience, maybe then you apply for this visa. If you don't have more than 5 years of experience, don't worry. I would still target these startups, just not apply for the tech visa. Keep in mind that startups always have an upper hand in hiring foreign workers, and if they're not able to sponsor you under the tech visa, they'll figure out another alternative, because they already have a license to sponsor foreign workers. So I'm pretty sure that they can figure it out. That's how we had one of our clients recently getting placed, where the client only had 4 years of experience in UK, and then we helped them get an opportunity in Portugal. That's actually the first time I even got to know about this visa, is because we recently helped a client get an opportunity in Portugal. We only applied in startups, and they were able to get picked under a different visa from one of these companies that's on the list. So all in all, just to wrap up the video, Portugal is a great option in Europe. I really wish people thought beyond Germany and France, the traditional countries that most people think of. If you are able to move your eyes away from those traditional countries where a lot of people are applying and the competition is much more, then the European Union has a lot to offer, many of which I will keep covering in my videos and on my channel, so make sure you subscribe for that. On that note, this amazing video has come to an end. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments below, would you consider moving to Portugal? And of course, if you want to sign up for Portugal Job Seeker Visa or any Globalogy services, check the description box and the pinned comment. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, you take care of yourself. Stay safe. Namaste.